welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel, and I'm now answering question number 6 from my end of topic worksheet 1, algebraic expressions, which is taken from the Solomon paper F from the old C1 collection, and this is question number 3 from that Solomon paper F. And here we have, I've been asking about question part A. I'll just do both of them just for sake of completion. And I'm going to be doing question A first, where it says, solve the equation x to the power of 3 over 2 equals 27. Now there's a number of ways we can deal with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my preferred, I'm going to show you my preferred method first, and that is to basically raise this x to the power of 3 over 2 to a power which will cause this to become to the power of 1. So what you can do is you can raise it to the power of its reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 3 over 2 is 2/3. If you multiply 3 over 2 by 2/3, you get 1. We want to end up with x to the power of 1 in the end. That's what we want. So if we raise this to the power of 2/3, those will cancel out. And this is the same as raising 27 to the power of 2/3 as well. You have to raise this side to the power of 2/3. You raise that to the power of 2/3 as well. So you end up with x equals 27 to the power of 2/3. Okay, so 27 to the power of 2/3 is the same as, basically, remember, if we have a to the power of m over n, the rule is that you have the denominator is the root and the numerator is the power. So this is like 27, and this is the cube root of 27 raised to the power of 2. So the cube root of 27 is equal to 3, and 3 squared is equal to 9. So x is equal to 9. And there's the answer to part A. Simple as that. Okay, so there's the answer to part A. I'm going to show you how to do it in another way. You could have done it straight away by saying this is the square root. Okay, x to the power of 3 over 2 equals 27 means the square root of x cubed. Okay, this is the square root of x cubed. So what you can do is you can basically deal with this by finding the cube root of both sides. Okay, you can find the cube root of both sides, in which case you're going to have, this will be the square root of x equals 3, and then you're going to square both sides, so x equals 9. Okay, so you can find the, you want to get rid of the cube, you cube root both sides. So the cube root of x cubed is x, so that's the same as the square root of x. It's up to you which one you can do. You can deal with the root first or the power first. It's easier to deal with the power first here. So if you're dealing with this, so if you want to make this smaller, you find the cube root of this, make it x, so you have to find the cube root of the other side as well, that makes it 3, and you want to find x, you square both sides. Okay, so that's another way of dealing with it. Okay, so that's this basically finding the square of this to get rid of the square root, and finding the cube root of this to get rid of the cube. So you do the same thing as this, you find the square of this and the cube root of that. So the cube root of 27 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. Same thing as what we did here. I personally prefer to think about this like this. Just take the, just raise this to the power of its reciprocal, becomes 1, and you do the same to the other side, and then write it in index form and get your answer. So there's the answer to 3A. 3B says express 2 and a quarter to the power of minus a half as an exact fraction in simplest form. Well, that's basically, you can change this into an improper fraction first. That's going to be 4 times 2 plus 1, that's 9 over 4. So that's 9 over 4 to the power of negative a half. Now the negative power, okay, negative a half. The negative power, what it means is simply write the reciprocal of what it's raised to the power of. So you don't write the reciprocal of the power, you write the reciprocal of what's being raised to that power. So that's 4 over 9. And now this becomes to the power of a half, which basically means the square root of 4 over 9, which gives you 2 over 3. Okay, and there's the answer to this question. And remember, when they ask you for the square root, they're asking you, when the square root is already there, it's already there in the question, they're asking you for just the positive square root of that. So there's the answer to part B, and that's question number 3 done from this paper. Other questions from this paper, from the Solomon F paper, can be found in this playlist that should appear here. Other questions from the end of topic worksheet number 1 can be found in the playlist that should appear over here. And you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on this link and find other papers that you might be wanting to watch, from P1, P2, P3, or P3, P4, S1, M1, and also IG papers. You can find links to them in the description under the video. Thank you for watching.